Rosh Hashiva, brilliant Rosh Hashiva. He was admired and loved, and Rav Hutner was Melech. Rav Hutner was Nifter. He had no sons, Rav Hutner. The Rosh Hashiva became his Talmudic student. Rav Aaron Schechter became the new Rosh Hashiva of Chaim Berlin. Rav Aaron ruled the yeshiva. He was a melech, mamish, like a king. I was zeicher to meet him for 2 hours. The akbah, the exactness of words. He was a lion. Rav Aaron Schechter, the yeshiva of Chaim Berlin. And he ran the Malchus for decades. After Rav Aaron Schechter was nifter, in a shack, tremendous shack, he appoints a yid, a tzaddik. A tzaddik, I was zeicher to meet him. Holy yid, big person. He appoints his son-in-law in a shack, the Rosh Hashiva of Chaim Berlin. His son-in-law of Shlomo Halava was a Svardish yid. His son-in-law, he had other son-in-laws. He had sons. Rav Shlomo Halava became the new Rosh Hashiva of Chaim Berlin. It was a chiddush nifla. You have a Litvish-ish yeshivas, also some Chassidish flavor, and a Svardish gadol mamish kibbutz Kalish. My favorite thing that's happened in our people in a long time. I think that's gorgeous. We're losing titles. Baruch Hashem, kibbutz Kalish. Svard, Chassidish, Litvish. The Rosh Hashiva of Chaim Berlin was a Yid, a Svardi, who was proud of his Svardi Messiah, who knew Svardish Torah, who knew Chassidish Torah, who knew Reb Baruch Ber and Reb Chaim, a giant of a man, of Shlomo Halava. And he became the Rosh Hashiva of Chaim Berlin. Reb Shlomo Halava was Rosh Hashiva. It's a Malchus. It's hardly a Rosh Hashiva. It's like a Rebbe, the Rebbe of Chaim. It's a Rebbe more than a Rosh Hashiva. A Rebbe. He run a whole Chaim Berlin community. Reb Shlomo Halava was Rosh Hashiva for 1 year, and suddenly, a couple of months ago, suddenly he was nifter. After 1 year, a young man in his 60s, suddenly was nifter. It turned out, Rabbi say, and this story is just unfolding in Klal Yisrael, it turned out a few weeks after he was made Rosh Hashiva, he found out he's deathly sick. And the doctor said he's going to die. He has an illness incurable, and he found out he was going to be a nifter. And he made a decision. It is completely normal to first of all tell Yidden, you're supposed to tell Yidden somebody's deathly ill, because Yidden daven tefillah has a big power. Second of all, emotionally, to tell your best friends, hey, he's deathly ill. It makes sense to tell his best friends. Shlomo Greenwald, the great Rav Shlomo Halava, the Rosh Hashiva of Chaim Berlin, made a cheshbon. It's like otherworldly. Shlomo Greenwald, he made a cheshbon that Chaim Berlin just got rocked. It lost its Rosh Hashiva, Rav Aaron Schechter's father. That was like, he was a powerful force, and he was nifter. Then he was made Rosh Hashiva. He said, if I announce to the community that I'm deathly ill, said Rav Shlomo Halava, it will just be so unsettling. Everything's crazy here. We had a Rosh Hashiva, he's nifter. He said, I'm not going to tell a soul. He just told his kids and his wife, 0! Nobody is knowing. 0! I mean 0. People who were like this with him, his best friends, Talmidim, close, knew 0. He said, I'm going to restore stability to Chaim Berlin. I'm going to run this place as if nothing's going on. And I'll bring back a certain stability here. And that's better, that there'll be stability in Chaim Berlin. It shouldn't be, otherwise it's like it's crazy. The Rosh Hashiva passes away, a new one comes, just madness, it's unstable. I'm going to bring back, he made a cheshbon that it should just be stable. Bachrim were teasing, the old Rosh Hashiva had a driver, drove him to yeshiva. You, Rav Shlomo, you're in your 60s. You're a young, strong man. The driver was driving him 2 blocks. People were teasing him. He couldn't walk. People were teasing. Oh, you need a driver all of a sudden? You become Rosh Hashiva? He was missing days. He was deathly sick. He was giving everything he got. He missed days. But like, you become Rosh Hashiva, you're too busy for us? At his Levaya, one of the Rebbeim got up. Said anybody made fun, he's Michael, don't feel bad with yourself. It was weird, and he didn't want us to know he was deathly ill. He's Michael 100%, anybody who made fun. He'd be Michael, it wasn't your fault. There were weird things going on. But he didn't want to say a word. He restored stability to Chaim Berlin. I think it's a biblical story. It's like lo yu'uman, person to put aside his own stuff. Like it's barely human. There's a gadol, he's sick. Klal Yisrael, the entirety of our people would have davened. Maybe it could have changed things, by the way. Kipshuta, he was willing to risk his life. Kipshuta. Could be Klal Yisrael would have davened. Tefillas of Klal Yisrael. He gave up and he said, nobody's davening. Nobody knew. The whole Am Yisrael, nobody knew. A Rosh Hashiva, a budding gadol b'Yisrael, a goyin b'Torah, told no one, zero. He answered his wife and kids from saying to anybody. People, mamish, cousins, brothers, nobody knew, zero. He's not saying it will be unstable for the Chaim Berliners. They should have, they should have. And he brought during the year a certain stability. And then he suddenly, after Sukkot, just left. He appointed his son, they're very young, they're 40-year-old. His son and his son-in-law, the Rosh Yeshiva, he appointed. There was a succession. It's very young, the youngest Yeshivas in them. He appointed his son and his son-in-law. But the Yid didn't tell a soul. To me, it's echoes of the night of the Shaitrei. The Yidden always, big people who choose the tzibur and the comfort of the tzibur over their own. They weren't going to be doiche klais, and they took beatings. This is a Yid who took tsar. It's not normal. To not call your friend and say, he's a human being. Say to his friend, I want to share you. To your best friends. You're friends with people 40 years. He had close friends. They were rocked. People nobody knew, zero. And he was struggling and missing. And people were like, why is he missing? Okay, maybe he's busy. He's Rashid. He looks a little older. He was pushing hard. Maybe the yoke of the leadership is hard. He was deathly ill and told no one. It only came after his patir. His family explained to everybody his decision. And he felt this way. He restored a stability to Chaim Berlin, which he did. There was a tremendous simcha. We have Rosh Hashiva back. There was a tremendous pride going b'Torah. Today, this story is the stability of the yeshiva. They have two young Rosh Hashivas, beautiful Rosh Hashivas. Beautiful. They're young, Be'ez Hashem. But the story of a tzaddik who made a cheshbon, and he put the comfort of the rabbi over his own stuff. He took beatings for the rabbi. Because he wants it, they should be, you know this?
I didn't know that he was, I went to the Levaya, I heard him say that
This story.
It was right by my house.
It's amazing. You went to the Levaya, Shrecha. Makes sense, such a tzaddik was there. Josh, you know this story? It's a nifla. Who do you heard this, Maisa? True story. It's just the emes of what just happened. So by the Levi, you heard that he was sick. People couldn't believe it, Aaron. All this, he just gave a mimer on Sukkot, said a strong mimer, right after Sukkot. What just happened? People thought of sudden, what's going on? He knew a few weeks after he became Rosh Hashiva. It was 2 or 3 weeks, mamish. He said he swore everybody to secrecy, and when he would miss shear, it's normal to say people are laughing. You're missing shear, never miss shear. Come Rosh Hashiva, all of a sudden you're missing shear. He was going for treatments, and he didn't say a word to anybody. Amazing Maisa, no boy. That's
incredible.
Yisrael. That's like Revezi, good Maisa.
Unbelievable. How do we know this?
This says, ask Revezi, go digging, and everybody in Chaim Berlin today knows this story.
I'm going to ask Kalman in a few minutes.
Ask Kalman, Revezi Shlita's son, Kalman is a Chaim Berliner. Ask Kalman if I speak the truth in one word of exaggeration. This is the mice.
Wow.
JD, amazing. I'm like so moved by this. When somebody puts our people, Am Yisrael, in front of themselves. I want to tell the Chevra that I met some of our guys who fought in the army. I met Yitz Shaps, I met Aaron Stats Holtzman. I was Zeich, they came on the Shabbos. The beauty of these two Yidden, two Yidden risked their lives for Am Yisrael. It's otherworldly. The energy that they brought, they risked their lives for Am Yisrael. They fought for our people. That energy of somebody who makes himself uncomfortable for our people, Aaron Holtzman risked his life for our people. He was front lines. Aaron was mamish. The guy saw things around him. La yu'umin. Not all the soldiers are like this. They're all, it's precious. Aaron Holtzman fought for our people. What comes off of that guy is like a Kedush Neira. I saw him, it's like, wow. Him and Yitz Shabs also. They fought for our people. Anybody who's willing for our people, Am Yisrael, and takes klep, that's the Sanhedrin, the leaders of our people. They took over from Moshe, that's the mid of Moshe Rabbeinu, who leaves the palace. That's the essence of the leader of Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu leaves the palace, he's safe in the palace, and he comes out by Yar B'Sifleisim to feel the pain of Klal Yisrael. He could have, I'm safe, Shalom Lai Nafshi. No. He leaves his security for our people. And who takes over from Moshe Rabbeinu is the Zkanim. Who were the Zkanim? They were the ones who took klep, they took beatings to protect Am Yisrael, should be comfortable. Bigger than themselves, live bigger, live higher. Reb Shlomo Haliva, Rosh Hashiva, his kids, the Rosh Hashiva, should have mamish hatzlacha naira. He's from such a tata, his son-in-law and son of the Rosh Hashivas, full covered. A tata who took a pain, took difficulty, gave up of tefillas of Am Yisrael, gave up the normal comfort of speaking to friends, should be comfortable for Chaim Buliners. They should have they're entitled to a stability. Amazing, Shlomo. You were at the Levaya, you told me you went. Naira. People think it's so funny. People think psak is like dry and like knowing information. If you don't understand, I look for a paisik since Rev Gissinger. My wife and I are looking at they're paisikim like this. Paisik's not a knowledgeable guy who's like you can look up Google. Google's not a paisik. Paisik understands our people. A big part of psak is know when that they become the Sanhedrin. You need a Rav who understands our people. Don't ever ask a Rav psak if you don't think he understands people. I think a paisik is like a dry, like information guy. I asked my Rabbi on somebody, my Rabbi said he's stupid, stay away from him. That was the quote to my Rabbi, he's stupid, stay away from him. My Rabbi said on a paisik. He meant that he's not understanding of people, that's not a paisik. It's interesting, the Sanhedrin feel our people. They sense that. Sanhedrin, you think for Sanhedrin, what do you need? That's exactly what you need from psak. I remember asking Rev Gissinger a certain psak, the way he worked to get a kula, the person needs a kula. And he worked, he mamish ad mesiras nefesh yari shemayim. He didn't just say things. He took achrayis for a neurodik kula. He said, I get the situation. I was asking on behalf of somebody else. He said, I get the situation, there needs to be a kula here. That's Sanhedrin. They feel our people, they understand our people. That's the ones who paskin for our people. And the Sanhedrin were people, the Shaitrei Ya'am, that took makkos, that took pains, that Am Yisrael should be spared from pain. That's the leaders of our people. I want to share something else, but could we do one that needs? I can't just talk after. How are you, Sroli? Nice to see you, sir. Chas and Aaron. Nachum, welcome home. Welcome, son. Where's Yiddi? I think I saw Yiddi out of the corner. Yiddi, I know him. Welcome home, Yiddi. Amazing. Nachum, how was your stay in Eretz Yisrael?
It was good. It's nice. I should have stayed longer. It's really nice.
We all feel that way. We want to stay longer, yeah. Yiddi, how was?
Landed this morning. It's too cold here. Walking out of the airport.
Hits you, right? Welcome home. We needed you both back. For us, you couldn't have come back quicker. Thank you. Thank you, Nachum. Thank you. It's good to have you both back. You did a great job in Eretz Yisrael. The same organization Nachum brings here keeps us on schedule, keeps us zusammen. You brought Eretz Yisrael. Thank you, Nachum. It's true. It's true. Mo Muller kept. He saved the whole trip. Bemis, he did it in such a delicate. He was like soft, but he kept us focused on time. There was a lot. He kept it. Mo saved the whole. You made the whole trip. Thank you. Thank you, Mo Muller. Really appreciate it. The amount, how much talent is here, pace of people. There's a Mo Muller here, Nachum. I think a sincere, there's a sincere place. Avram Avinu was a massive warrior, great orator, great speaker, great warrior. He was going to do good things with it. So Hashem gives, people do good things that Hashem gives them things. They use it right, He gives them. The Gemara in Sukkah says that rich people lose their nechasim. They lose their wealth if they don't utilize their position. Because they're rich, there's dvar of nishma and people listen to them. If they don't use the standing that they're given, so Hashem takes it away. Which says to us every aspect of what the rich is. Somebody can be cynical. They're just listening to him because he's rich. Hashem gave him that too. The same God who gave him money gave him a standing. Everything's exact. Nothing's by accident. Now his job is to say, hey, I have a standing. It bothers me if a guy's a good ball player and doesn't use his standing to say better good mornings. He's blind. He's silly. The same Hashem who gave him a good basketball skill gave him standing. So use it right. A guy's good looking, so it gives him standing. It gives him the possibility to do things with it. Utilize it. I feel like Hashem sends where it's utilized. Hashem sends where it's not utilized. It leaves. The schus gadol that we have in Achim here. It's not pashut. But Hashem sent, it's an Erlucha Yeshivas, Hashem, to a place that tries to serve Hashem, so He sends us enough. It's a schus. We have a moment. I appreciate you a lot. What Yudi's done, what Yudi Einhorn's done already for weeks on end. Very appreciated, Yudi. Welcome home, welcome back. Where did you sing? I heard Big Red, you were singing in Rav Fisher's. What songs did you sing for them? Where did we just, we did for that yesterday. Everybody could sing here. We could sing Chaim's Mashcheni. We did it with Chaim a lot there. Let's do Chaim's Mashcheni, Meir. Let's hold it up.
sometimes when you call for me, it's hard to hear sometimes, but I know that you love me so. But I know that you love me so. Di-da-da, di-da-da-da-da-da, Maya. Di-da, di-da-da-da-da-da, Maya. Di-da-da, di-da-da-da-da-da.
Thank you, Shlomo. I love that. I want to share one more thought pace with the Chaver that I'd like to share. In the parsha, this short, brief pace, but I want to share. The Chaver's about to go. Some of the guys are leaving now on the trip. Hatzlachas, Shlomo Taka. Thank you for taking the Chaver. Elliot, in the parsha, we're told about Moshe Rabbeinu when he's a little child. When he's first born, it says, Vatera oisai ki toiv. Meir, it says on Moshe Rabbeinu, Vatera oisai, they see him at his birth pace, ki toiv. He was very good. Says Rashi, they see him ki toiv. Let's read the Rashi. Kishenoilad, when he was born, Nismala bayis kula oirav doiv. The whole house filled with light. They saw him ki toiv. When he was born, there was a za'or filled the house. Dave, did you ever hear the knock on Gedolim stories? People say the books. I love Gedolim books. Love them. What's one of the knocks? They paint him that he was a child. He was like an angel. Shas at 6. I love that. I love that. I love that. What do you mean? Isn't it tzaddik overcoming? 100%. Pace, what I love about it is the pirish of a tzaddik. They say, how do you tell me he was innocent? And we're all beautiful, young. And the tzaddik is their nisyanis. The nisayan is not to see the beauty that is. We have big neshamas. I like reading about Moshe Rabbeinu was born, Nismala Abayis Eira, the whole house. So was he predestined to be? Of course, there's choice. The choice is to be true to the Ar that we are. We're all big iris, big neshamas, big parents. It's interesting. People love asking the Rebbeim's mother, "Tell me about him young." You almost want to hear like his flaws. The mother said, "Oh, he was special from you." It's like, shucks. Says he really special? If he was special and holy from youth, so what's special? The goal is to overcome. The overcoming doesn't need that from youth. He was the Rabbi Shalom sent us down, big neshamas. By the way, you'll see on your own children pace on every single one. You'll see a glimpse, tremendous greatness. The one who's struggling is not like he didn't have or she didn't have the greatness. They lost touch. That's the sign of life. To be in touch. That light, parents see it on little kids. I went to Eretz Yisrael pace. One of our chevras said to me, "Rabbi, my son, wow." And I understood him. He meant it. He wasn't an exact. So I said, "Wow, it's impressive." Yeah, he was like fresh. You don't get it. You're not understanding me. I couldn't match. I do understand him. And he's like, he can't believe his kid. He's like, and he got frustrated. You didn't understand what I'm saying. And I can't prove to him enough because what he's seeing is completely true. You'll see on your kids, he's like, no, I've seen other kids. His kid's bigger than other kids. It's true. It's true. You'll see that on your kids too. His kid's much bigger than other kids. He has a nine that he doesn't have in other kids, and he has it on his kid. He's right. He's like, oh, me and my wife were. I want him to remember that. And more important, I want the kid to always, and the tzidkus of the kid will be to be in touch with that. We have big neshamas. Big, I mean big. We scratch and touch. We're big iris. The Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe saw people like this. We're big lights every single year, like ridiculous, like from one end of the world to the other. So I like hearing the tzid because Moshe Rabbeinu was born and the bias in the Smal Oira. And you know what the chiddush of Moshe Rabbeinu is? He lived with that. He connected to that, and he didn't lose sight of that. He lived with that, the greatness that is Moshe. And our lesser people have an R, they were young. The book of everybody is the young kid. Of course you should read that. The young kid was angelic. Of course you should read that. Of course, I like reading that. And the tzaddik kept the young kid. The tzaddik kept in touch with the young kid. I've told the Chevra, it says in Rabbi Yeshua's mother, that she brought his crib to the Beis Medrash. Now, Chazal certainly mean kipshutai. She probably did a kipshutai. But if you learn it just means kipshutai, I think it's a silliness. So it only means kipshutai. It's like a trick, a hack of the system. So let's all do it. Let's carry cribs. It means that all his life, and it attributes to his mother, she was able to see his crib in the Beis Medrash. The tzidkus that was, she saw the purity that was. He's the pure person who's shaykh to Torah, and Torah shaykh to him. We lose sight, the crib leaves. The job is to bring everybody's crib back to the Beis Medrash, JD. That's the job. We should all bring our cribs to the Beis Medrash. His mother, a mom, that's actually the job of a mother, by the way. Every mother pays. When a guy commits a violent crime in the courtroom, Doivi, I want you to picture this. A guy commits a ridiculous crime. In the courtroom, the defendant's a victim, it's packed. The victim side of the courtroom, his father, his mother, his brother, his uncles, his friends, it's packed, his side of the courtroom. Who's the only one there for the bad guy? The only one who sits in court is who, Dave? Lawyer. He's paid to be there. Who's the only one who's not paid to be? There's only one person. Bernie Madoff, I don't know as a fact, I just will bet everything I own. Bernie Madoff, no friend shows up, they're out. No, his father's long gone. You know, the only one who's there is the mama. Yeah, always. You'll see in the courtroom, there's one person who sits there, they're like, look stupid. There's one person there with the bad guy, everybody's long gone. Who's there, JD? The mama's there, of course. That's the job of a mother, to bring the cradle to the Beis Medrash. The mama still sees my son is much better than you all think. It's a mama. If she saw it well enough, he wouldn't have committed the crime. She flinched. You know, your Mask Yisrael made the mamas. What? The mothers, they always and she still sees there's an innocence. Azamrul Lakai Ba'oidi, Reb Nachman says the oidi is that little part that's still innocent. The mama sees the oidi, still in touch with the oidi. That's the mama. So when we learn these stories of the great person, of the Smala Abayis Oira, we say, so what's going on here? The Gadlus is they were in touch. Moshe Rabbeinu stayed with the Gitayv. It's not a story if he's not a Moshe. It says Nismala Oira, but he lost the Oira. He got out of touch with the Oira. The story of a Moshe, somebody all his life lived with that Gitayv. It still has, it's in the Torah, means it's eternal. It means the Nismala Abayis Oira still stayed relevant and he stayed connected to it. If Moshe Rabbeinu lost connection to that Oira, so what's the difference? And it's history. The Torah is never history. It's what always is. Torah is not history. So Nismala Abayis Oira stayed with Moshe, stays with Moshe. It's still with Moshe. When you read about Tzaddikim, don't panic to hear they were innocent. What? So as a youngster? The Nisayan was to lose, and I promised they had Nisayanis to lose connection to that innocence of youth. Yeah, the kid was like pure, as you see, your kids are pure. The purity, the innocence of kids, they're so pure. Say Shema with your child. Bez Hashem, JD, you're going to say Shema with your kids, you'll lose your mind. I watched Yisrael Meir light in their Chanukah. It was like tzaddikim. Bez Hashem, my tefillah is that he should stay in touch with that tzedkus. You watch a little kid light. I watch my niece light in their Chanukah. I was zeicher to see. It's like a sipurei tzaddikim. So you're going to write a book, then you're going to say, when he was a kid, he was. It's good to see that we have neshamas. Yeah, we have a purity, a beauty, a specialness for sure. The goal is not to lose sight of that. It's not a kasha that you read Gedolim books and they with tzaddikim. The beauty is that they stayed with that they didn't, and with all the nisyanis and the yuridis and the mistakes, they didn't lose attachment. When they write the book, when people talk about Daiv, they'll talk about the innocence of youth, and the godless Daiv is that we're going to stay connected to that. That's what I wanted to say on this Nismala Habayis Oira. The house fills with Oira. Before you get too upset, this is like the Gadol story that's going to anger everybody. Oh, he was such a tzaddik. Yeah, when he was born, the whole house. When I was in Eretz Yisrael, one of the guys describing his son, but he wasn't trying to be like a proud father. He got upset at me. You don't understand, and he meant it. He really meant it. He's like, he can't believe his kid. He's like, whoa. So we have to handle. What does it mean? A kid just has a Yetzirah, has no Yetzirah. There's what to handle. They're not in touch with things that you have to handle. At Bar Mitzvah, you get a Yetzirah Tov. You have an Neshama. What that means, there's a sugya here. What does it mean, a little kid's Yetzirah? It has to be handled. They don't see others necessarily. But there's a purity and an innocence and a beauty. This guy was describing his son. I really knew, I understand what he means. And specifically his kid. It's not a general, he's not saying, he's saying, I'm not saying it's my kid. I'm saying, I've seen people, this kid like blows me away. He does. The father was like awed by his own kid. His Gadol books, isn't it going to be a sad Gadol book? Or he was already born. The Nisayan is not to lose sight. Davey, this bothers you on Gedolim books?
Not so much.
It never bothered you so much. People get very they're like irked by it. The Moshe Rabbeinu Nismala Bayis Eira. The Chiddush is to stay in touch, and it's only recorded in the Torah because he lived with it. The Torah is not history. So Nismala Bayis Eira means he stayed connected to that. That's the test. That's the tzidkus, I would say, less at the Bayis Nismala Eira than he stayed shaykh to that the Bayis Nismala Eira. That's the tzidkus. It says on 3 tzaddikim, the Torah, Hashem refers to them twice, Moshe, Moshe. Which 3 tzaddikim are referred to? It says their names twice. Avram, Avram, Yaakov, Yaakov, and Moshe, Moshe. What's this Madrega saying twice? It means the Nismala Bayis Eira of Moshe, the essence. Moshe, who he was, it was Moshe, Moshe. It was connected back to his essence. That's the Moshe, Avram, Avram, and Yaakov, Yaakov. The Rebbeinu Shalom Shmi Mizaka us all. The that we are, the neshama, the purity, we should touch and feel and live with all the days of our life. Have an outstanding night, guys.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi.